Debt isn't just a number on a screen, it's a slow leak in the life you're trying to build. It steals hours from your future, tightens the walls around your choices, and convinces you that this is just how adulthood feels. Across America, household debt now towers in the tens of trillions, and credit card balances alone have crossed the $1 trillion mark. That's not just a statistic, it's the sound of borrowed tomorrows. But stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll see exactly which myths have been quietly draining your progress, the real strategies people use to climb out faster, and one simple plan you can start tonight. If you've ever wondered why some people escape debt while others stay stuck, you're about to find out, and it's not what you've been told. Everything here is grounded in evidence, not hype, drawn from behavioral finance experiments, central bank data, and proven personal finance frameworks. This isn't theory for theory's sake. It's a roadmap built from what actually works. We'll begin by uncovering the subtle mistakes almost everyone makes without realizing it. The habits, shortcuts, and social myths that keep people spinning in place. Then, you'll get a toolkit of timeless rules that real people follow to regain control. Finally, we'll end with a clear 6-step plan that turns this knowledge into movement. Because once you see debt for what it really is, you'll never think about money the same way again. In the first section, we explore the most common mistake: falling into the trap of minimum payments. Many people think paying just the minimum on their credit cards keeps them safe, but that tiny number is more dangerous than it looks. It's like plugging a leak with tape. It seems okay at first, until the water rises and the damage multiplies. Paying only the minimum stretches your balance for years, letting interest quietly pile up. In fact, US credit card balances hit roughly $1.2 trillion in late 2024, showing how common this trap is. Treating the minimum as a plan keeps you stuck, but there's a simple fix: automate an extra payment, even just $25 a week. That small effort chips away at the principal, reducing future interest faster than you might expect. Tonight, set up an autopay or alarm to make that extra payment. Remember, minimums buy time, but they don't buy freedom. In the next section, we examine another pitfall: how to blend snowball and avalanche the smart way. A common belief is that there's only one right way to pay off debt: snowball or avalanche, and that sticking to a single method is enough. People debate these approaches like it's a war, but in reality, you can use both, smartly. The snowball method focuses on knocking out the smallest debts first, creating quick victories that build momentum and keep you motivated. The avalanche method targets the debts with the highest interest rates, saving you the most money over time, even if progress feels slower at first. Combining these approaches gives you math efficiency and psychological wins at the same time. The real mistake is choosing a method that looks optimal on paper but doesn't fit your behavior. A fast fix is to automate payments using the avalanche order while celebrating each payoff like a snowball moment, a $10 reward, or even a small personal acknowledgement. Make a payoff list. Tackle the highest rate debt first, but mark off the smallest balances publicly. Math saves dollars, but habits keep you paying. In the following section, we address a widespread misconception: the myth of extreme sacrifice. Many of us assume that paying off debt means cutting everything from our budget, believing that only extreme sacrifice will work. But a diet of deprivation rarely lasts, and this approach often backfires. It's like slashing your car's fuel tank. You'll stall before reaching your destination. Extreme cuts drain willpower, and behavioral research shows that small changes in defaults and automations consistently outperform blunt, punishing sacrifices. The real mistake is choking your life to zero, then quitting. Instead, take a smarter path. Use painless, automated redirects. Roundup apps, subscription audits, or redirecting one small daily luxury into debt payments creates steady progress without pain. Even skipping a single coffee or redirecting $5 a day can add up to $150 in a month. Layer these small wins, and paying down debt becomes effortless rather than punishing. Remember, small habits compound, drama doesn't. Tonight, start by canceling one unused subscription and put that money straight toward your debt. Then, we'll look at why relying on tools alone isn't enough. Many people rely on apps or tools alone, thinking technology will magically fix their debt. Tools help, but without rules, they're just noise. An app is like a wrench. It won't fix a car unless you know what to tighten. Automation can reduce friction, from balance transfer offers to payoff calculators, but apps alone don't change the system unless paired with commitment. The real mistake is constantly switching apps, chasing the perfect tool, or expecting technology to solve everything. A fast, effective fix is simple. Pick one app for automation and one clear rule, like increasing payments by 1% every few months. Set reminders, track your progress weekly, and adjust only when necessary. The app drives nothing on its own, consistent action does. Tonight, choose one app, set a small auto payment, and schedule a weekly 5-minute review. Remember, automation is a habit engine, not a magic wand. Finally, we'll discuss a common false belief. Waiting for a raise won't solve your debt. Many assume that paying off debt requires a big raise or windfall, and without it, nothing will change. Raises help? Yes, but a solid plan can outrun a pay increase. Stopping leaks in your budget often makes more impact than adding water to a sinking ship. Behavioral research shows that small, consistent, automated increases in debt payments outperform waiting for sporadic windfalls. Delaying action until circumstances are perfect only wastes months of potential progress. The solution is to adopt the Save More Tomorrow approach. Commit today to automatically boost payments whenever income rises, even by a small percentage. Pair this with incremental savings from your current budget. Just $5 or $10 redirected can compound surprisingly fast. Tonight, write one sentence. For my next raise, I will add X% to debt payoff, and set a reminder to implement it immediately when the raise arrives. A plan beats a raise every time if you spend the raise. Together, these sections highlight the mistakes most of us make, showing how habits, beliefs, and assumptions quietly hold us back. Recognizing these patterns is powerful, but knowledge alone isn't enough to create change. That's where practical, timeless frameworks come in. In the next part, we'll explore 5 proven strategies, your personal toolkit, to turn understanding into action, reduce friction, and make progress on debt feel not just possible, but inevitable. To tackle debt effectively, there are 5 timeless frameworks that act like your personal toolkit. Start with the 50-30-20 baseline. Allocate 50% to needs, 30% to wants, and 20% to savings or debt. But when repayment is urgent, tilt that 20% toward debt. Next, prioritize an emergency buffer, a quick $1,000 for unexpected events, then build up 3 months of essential expenses to avoid falling back into debt. Combine the snowball and avalanche methods into a hybrid system. Attack high-interest balances first while celebrating small wins along the way, automating both for consistency. Use the Save More Tomorrow approach. Schedule gradual increases in payments as your income grows, reducing the mental strain of discipline. Finally, create a visual progress loop, a chart, thermometer, or simple line that moves as debt shrinks. Watching your progress visually reinforces action and builds motivation. Remember, what you track, you can shrink. Many people resist budgeting because it feels restrictive, but that fear masks the real opportunity. Budgeting is a tool to buy freedom and expand choices. Short-term reallocation of resources can fund long-term flexibility and peace of mind. Others hesitate because they've tried and failed. But failure is just data, not defeat. The key is reducing friction. Automate payments, pick one simple tool, set tiny, achievable steps, and test your system consistently for 90 days. Evidence shows this is necessary. Less than half of Americans have enough savings to cover 3 months of expenses, meaning a plan that builds both buffers and debt repayment is essential. The approach is simple. Start small, fail cheap, and fix fast. Here's your 6-step evergreen plan to take control of debt. First, stop the harm. Always pay more than the minimum, even $25 a week, and automate it. Second, build a mini buffer. $1,000 to cover emergencies and avoid new cards. Third, pick the hybrid system. Order debts by interest for efficiency, but celebrate each payoff like a snowball win. Fourth, automate increases. Commit to raising payments as your income grows, following the Save More Tomorrow approach. Fifth, track progress visually. Use a chart or thermometer and share at least one milestone publicly. Sixth, scale. Redirect raises or windfalls toward your debt until it's gone. Remember, freedom is a plan, not a lottery ticket. As we close, remember the loops we opened earlier. Which myths quietly steal time, and the rule that beats rigid, black and white thinking. Tonight's action items are simple. Set an extra autopay, cancel one unused subscription, and draw your payoff thermometer. Drop one money myth you grew up with in the comments. I'll pick one and dismantle it in the next video. No shame, just systems. Debt isn't a moral failure. It's a system you can beat with rules, routine, and a tiny bit of stubbornness.